In today's episode, we're going to talk about procrastination and how to overcome procrastination. Welcome to Live Your Hero's Journeys podcast, the source of inspiration and practical wisdom on how to live to your full potential. Hi, I am your host, Pheh Sze. Have you ever felt being so overwhelmed that you have so many things to do, but at the same time, you don't feel like doing any of them? And then you postpone it for the next day, and the next day comes because you're so overwhelmed because you didn't do what you wanted to do yesterday. You felt even more overwhelmed, and then you postpone it further. And before you knew it, a week has gone by. All of us are procrastinators one way or another to a different degree. I remember when I was recording my 10 days of How to Live Your Hero's Journeys series. I have 2 weeks off, and on the first week, I have a list of tasks that I meant to do, and I kept telling myself, oh, it's all right. I can always do it on the next week. And when the next week came, I was so overwhelmed with so many things that I wanted to do. And I asked myself, why didn't I do it last week where I have the time? Why do I wait till today when I have limited time and to finish all the tasks in this limited time? So why do we procrastinate? Most of the time, we procrastinate because we feel overwhelmed, or when we're not clear about the task that we wanted to do. So one of the ways I overcome or beat my procrastination, which by the way, they crop up all the time, and this is an ongoing process. It's not that once you manage to beat or overcome this procrastination, it's gone forever. This is a daily process, and each time you procrastinate, you have to manage them. So number one is I like to do the tasks that I do not enjoy or I'm most fearful of first. So there's two ways of doing things. Some people like to do the things that they enjoy to do first and then build the confidence, and then they can do the next task. For me, I find that I always put off the work or the task that I least like or most fearful of, and I keep on pushing them, and then when I have no choice, then I only tackle them. So I find that by tackling the most difficult task or the task that I'm most fearful of doing first, then I feel the sense of accomplishment, which then gives me the confidence to do other things, and it creates a domino effect of workflow for me. If you ever written a book or doing something creative, the work itself is actually not the hardest, but getting your bum on the seat is always the hardest. For example, when you want to exercise, exercising is actually not hard, but getting yourself to the gym is the hardest part of all. So when I tackle the most important and the task that's hardest for me to do first, I find that everything else will flow from there. The second thing that I do is to list only 3 important tasks that I have to do for the day. A lot of times I feel that when I procrastinate, it's because I don't have a clear picture of what I wanted to do or what are the goals that I need to achieve, because when you first start, there's so many things that you have to figure out, and there's 101 things you can do at any time. And when you're overwhelmed, you tend to be in a state of confusion rather than using the time and to focus and do on one task at a time. So if I list only 3 tasks that I need to do, I feel that these are manageable tasks. And I do it even further, which is I list out of the 3, there's only one task that I need to complete by the end of the day. And no matter what, whether it's perfect or not perfect, whether it's up to my standard or not, I am going to finish this one task. Until I finish this one task, which I determine to be the most important one, I'm not going to do the rest. And this gives me a sense of comfort that, no matter what, I just need to accomplish one task. And it just feels more manageable. And once again, when you manage to tick off the list, you're going to feel good. And then it's very easy for you to move on to the next task. Last but not least is think of time as a limited resources. Think of the past, how many times you feel that you have lost time or wasted your time. Time is the only thing that we cannot bring back. Even money cannot bring back the lost time. So by reflecting on the limited time I have in this world and not wanting to waste my time, I find the courage and the motivation to push through to do the work that I wanted to do. And just focus on the process and not to be too worried on what the outcome could be. Because as I mentioned in the previous episode, all these procrastination or perfectionism is just a form of fear that comes out, right? So for me, I would tell myself, if I do the work that I set to do, that's all I can do. I've done my best, and all my task is to show up all the time consistently. And I can always do better each time and progress. And my job is to turn up and not to reach perfection each time. So by changing my mindset, I find that it's easier for me to do the things I want to do, and I will procrastinate less. I hope that you find this episode useful. In the next episode, we're going to talk about what happens when you are lack of motivation. Before I go, just a reminder that if you want more motivation to kickstart your week, you can join my newsletter, Monday Motivation newsletter, where I'm going to have some reflection of the week and also what's the latest episode. I hope you enjoyed the episode today. Until the next session, live a life worth writing about. I'll see you soon.